Alrighty. So today we're going to talk about a little mental health. And don't worry, it's not your mental health we're going to talk about today, it's mine. I'm going to share some stories, so hopefully that will encourage you to share some things that you've been dealing with when it comes to mental health. Because, that's important to talk about what we go through, so it can raise awareness, first of all, and then help somebody else. So yesterday was a really bad mental health day for me. What I mean by that, it was one of those days where I just couldn't get out of the bed. There were things that I needed to do, things that I wanted to do, things that I had to do, but I just didn't have that motivation. I didn't have the willpower to get out of bed. I think I stayed in bed for a total of 17 hours, just sitting there, wallowing, contemplating, and that's one of the struggles for me. My mind just goes a mile a minute. It feels like there are a million fish trapped in a fishbowl, and you just pick one out, and that's the thought that comes. But all those other fish are just still swimming around. So all those other thoughts are just still spinning around, just bouncing around everywhere. It just drives me crazy to the point, and it's so debilitating because you have these things that you want to do. You have these things that you know you need to do and if you do them, they'll help you get better. They will help you achieve a goal, which is definitely an important aspect in battling mental health, having goals and setting goals and doing. Don't let that mental health get the best of you. But yeah, so I was just in bed all day, and it's okay because everybody has those days. Everybody has those mental health days. But for me, so I was doing some research yesterday and just getting insight from other people who have shared stories or insight from what other people go through. And I know one thing that's been a constant in my life. I say I'm tired a lot. And I found out not necessarily tired in my body, but with all those thoughts bouncing around and just running around constantly, it can build anxiety, depression, fatigue. So if you've got all of these things, if your mind is constantly going, you're not resting, of course you're gonna feel tired because it's just constantly going. The wheels are constantly spinning. There's nothing you can do about it. There are things you can do about it. Outlets. You can write, you can sing, you can draw, you can get those feelings out, you can get out whatever is in here. But I know for me, it just keeps on going and going and going and going. One thing that helps me, so I don't get that insomnia, I have to sleep with the television on. I have to give my mind something else to focus on. Or if I'm just sitting in a bed in a quiet room, my mind will go on forever. And it'll keep me up, and so I have to have something to counteract what's going on in here. So if I'm sleeping, I don't even have to be actively watching the television. As long as my brain has something else to focus on, or hear, as long as I have something else to focus on, then that helps ease me to sleep. And I was watching this documentary on HBO called A Dangerous Son. And that documentary was just basically talking about teenagers who suffer from mental health problems, but their mental health problems spawn into anger, uncontrollable anger. And as I was watching the program, I was looking at similarities within my own life. When I was a child, I had serious anger issues. And going to the doctor, they'll diagnose you with ADD or ADHD or ODD, which is oppositional defiance disorder. They'll diagnose you with these things, but it's such a hit or miss process. Because you go to them and you tell them this is what you're going through, and then they prescribe this one medicine. That may not be it. So they prescribe something else. So it's just a game of Russian roulette when it comes to medication with mental health. That's why I don't take any medication. I go to therapy. I talk these things out. But anyway, back to this documentary. So these young men had these uncontrollable anger issues that it just comes over them and they can't control them. And then of course they were diagnosed with other things like ADD and ODD. But it was sad because there was a point in this country where we had institutions to help people suffering from mental disorders, and as we've grown as a country, some things were just funding was taken away from like those programs to help. There are not a lot of programs out there for people struggling with mental health. A lot of those things have been taken away because people don't see it as the killer that cancer is, the killer that HIV and AIDS is, the killer that diabetes is. People don't think of a mental health disorder as something dangerous and deadly as that. And then it was talking about like the school shootings, and how these mothers had to, I love that it was looking at the perspective of the mother, because you'll see all those people who were involved in the school shootings, the children, you want to blame them, you definitely want to place blame on somebody for taking countless lives. But then when you look at it, when you zoom out and you look at it from a different perspective, okay, that person is ill. They need help. And so as it was looking at the perspective of the mothers, there was nothing these mothers could do. Absolutely nothing. They were terrified of their children. They were terrified for their children. You can try to put them somewhere. You can try to get them assistance, but because mental health is not like one of those major killers, insurance will only do so much in the fight for mental health. Because let's say you're at a treatment facility, they don't gauge your wellness. They gauge the time you've been in that facility and what should have occurred to you, what should have happened while you were in that facility. So when your days are up, or when they can't pay, when they just don't want to pay for that treatment anymore, you're back on the streets, you're back to that old environment. You probably got help, you probably recovered, but you probably didn't, because mental health is not just one of those things that happens overnight. It takes years and years and years of intention and training and talking and like overcoming. So yeah, the documentary was very, very helpful. I encourage everybody to watch it. A Dangerous Son on HBO. So some statistics that were pulled out. 1 in 10 American teens deal with mental health issues, and less than half of those get treated for it. And that's very, very scary. And that's just the people who report their mental health issues, because nobody wants to be labeled, or nobody wants to be diagnosed as crazy. You're not crazy. The chemical balance in your mind is just off, and you need help. We need help. I need help. So that's why I am talking to you, because talking through is an outlet. For me, talking is an outlet. So I'm talking so maybe I can help somebody else. All right. Thank you for listening, guys. Hopefully something said today will help someone else. Like, comment, share. Spread the word. Please comment. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you guys are going through. I'm here to talk. I'm here to talk. I'm here to listen. You are not alone. We are not alone in this. We will overcome. We will get through. God bless. Love you all.